Hi everyone, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga, and welcome to Soft Flow Yoga. Thanks for joining me. In this practice, we're going to be focusing on a particular pose called Janu Sirsasana. That means head to knee pose. It's a wonderful posture because it has three target areas. It's the seating position where you'll be working your hips, so a nice hip release, a nice hamstring stretch, and it also gives a nice release in your low back. So we'll be getting into that practice. You may want to use a couple of props. One prop I will recommend is a yoga strap if you'd like. It could be just something long like a belt or a jump rope. And if you'd like, optional, if you need something soft to sit on and or kneel on, maybe a blanket or a towel. So that's it. That's all we'll need. So let's get started. Let's begin our practice in seated so we can get into our breath. So let's take a few moments here to take a few deep breaths. A nice full inhale and exhale with a sigh. Good. Another time, a nice full breath in. Just feel the breath rise. Fill up your lungs. And exhale. Excellent. Now just continue to breathe with intention. In and out. A nice way to get into your body, to be more focused, aware, and present. A nice meditative moment here. Continuing to feel the breath. A nice inhale, followed by the exhale. Breathe in a way where you can feel the breath moving through your body. Notice how your body responds to your breathing effort. It might simply be the rise and fall of your chest or belly. And listen to the sound of your breath. A nice oceanic sound. Wonderful ways just to get in tuned and connected. Very nice. Let's take 3 more breaths. Let's add a very simple movement here. As you inhale, extend your arms out and up, a nice reaching sensation, a big stretch. And exhale, extend your arms out and down, and feel as if you're going to touch the walls on either side of you. Start a new round of breath. Inhale, reaching out with good effort. Touch the walls, touch the ceiling. Then exhale, extend the arms out, reaching with good effort, energy in your hands and fingers, and let them come back down to your side. Let's do that 2 more times. Full breath in. Exhale. So we're just adding simple movements to our breathing. A nice moving meditation. Wonderful warm-up before we get into our full practice. We'll be focusing on our head to knee pose. Very nice. Then just rest for a moment. While still seated, just bring your hands behind you, just maybe propped up onto your fingertips so your arm just feels longer. And as you bring your arms behind you, it just naturally draws the shoulders back, creating a nice opening up through the chest. We're just going to do a very simple seated back bend. So with fingertips on the ground, inhale and push into the earth. With that inhale, feel the air fill your lungs. And that nice expansive feeling across the chest. Exhale. I'm going to add a few more sensations here. Again, inhale, push into the earth with the fingers. Feel that energy move up through your arms and shoulders. Fill up your lungs. Feel the stretch across the chest. Then exhale, and as you're breathing out, pull the belly button in towards your spine. At the same time, you might even feel or try to draw your shoulder blades together behind you, engaging your upper back. Again, breathing in, fill up the lungs, even tip the chin up slightly. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades together, draw belly button in 2 more times. So we've created more effort and more energy in the body. We're also creating this back bend. And after this one, just release, lower the head, walk your hands toward yourself, and just let your hands rest in your lap for a moment and sit up nice and tall. So since we just did a back bend, let's do a forward fold, but let's change our leg posture. Let's come to cobbler's pose or bound angle pose. It's simply just bringing the soles of the feet together like this, bending the knees and the knees open, nice hip opener. And this is a wonderful setup actually for our Janu Sirsasana, our head to knee pose. So while sitting up nice and tall, maybe just hold on to your shins or ankles. You're going to inhale and just feel yourself get a little taller and energy moving through the crown of your head. Exhale through the mouth and feel the belly button pull in towards spine and start to hinge forward just a tiny bit. Just a little bit so you can maintain the lengthened spine. Okay, hips are starting to open. You might even feel a slight sensation of a stretch in the inner legs. Feel free to stay here or you're welcome to go a little deeper. And as you begin to fold, you might be able to reach down and actually catch the feet. Inhale, more extension through the spine. Exhale, draw belly in and hinge forward a tiny bit more. Right here. Now, I'm trying to maintain a well-lengthened spine initially, but after one more breath, with this exhale, I'm just going to lower my chin and let the back round a little bit and start to fold a little bit more, but not too much. I just want to feel a little bit more of that stretch quality in the inner legs and our bound angle pose, or cobbler's pose as a nickname, but also with the curvature of the spine, starting that natural stretch in the back body. Again, these two sensations, the hips and your back, we're getting ready for Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. We're going to go through a sun salutation just to get fully warmed up, and then we'll come back down to the ground to get into our featured pose. So if your back is rounded here, just lift the chin to help re-extend the spine, and just rise back up into your nice and tall. And just hold here for a moment. Good. Let's just maneuver the body to come to hands and knees, and this is where your blanket or towel can come in handy. I'm going to open mine up to a nice long rectangle so I can have my knees at one end, hands at the other. A little tabletop posture, ready for cat and cow. We'll inhale, tip the chin up, looking forward, arching the back. A little back bend sensation here. Exhale, rounding the back. Tug the pelvis under, feel the belly button pull up towards spine. Rounded back, chin to chest. This is cat. Inhale, tip the pelvis back. Arch the back, belly kind of drops. There's our back bend sensation. Heart opens, look forward. Exhale, round it out. And just continue to flow, breathe, move at your own pace. Meanwhile, your knees are directly underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. Nice, strong, straight arms. See if you can keep them straight. I'm actually putting a little effort in the hands, pushing into my blanket. All right, finish the breath that you're on and take 2 more. And when you're complete, just pause in a neutral tabletop posture for a moment. And then if you are using a pad, just go ahead and crawl off the pad. We'll set that to the side. Come back to hands and knees. And again, your knees are underneath your hips, wrists underneath the shoulders initially. But we're going to change this as we get set up for down dog. So I like to step the hands forward a little bit. And as you step the hands forward, spread out your fingers pretty wide so you can create a nice strong base. And with the hands stepped forward, I kind of lean into the hands, push or press the open palms into the mat. It just helps open the palms and feel the energy, strength, and length in your arms. Tuck your toes under and do one more cat-cow. So here's cow, it's the back bend. Exhale into cat pose. Hold cat pose for a moment. Make sure toes are tucked. Lift your knees off the floor. Send your hips up into the air as your chest and head sink naturally between the arms. This should guide you right into downward facing dog. If you need to, make some adjustments with the feet. I'm stepping my feet slightly closer towards my hands and a little bit wider. And I'm also going to do the same with the hands, just stepping them out a little wider, just creating a little bit more space for my upper body, my neck, my shoulders. Holding for one more breath. Then I'll take a few steps forward until my feet are flat on the mat. I'm ending up right in the center of the mat here. Slide the fingertips towards toes. Then inhale, slide the hands up to the shins or knees to extend the spine, only rising up about halfway, making sure feet feel solid on the ground. You're going to feel a nice energy in the backs of the legs here to help hold you in place. Long torso, hips and tailbone pointing back, crown of the head pointing and moving forward. One more breath. And as we continue to stand, shift your weight back into your heels, bend your knees to lower your hips like you're sitting down. Place hands on thighs and just rise up to a chair-like position right here. And then continue to stand, pressing feet into the floor, straight legs. Inhale, extend the arms all the way up into the sky. Nice big stretch. Exhale, arms down to your side. Very nice. So here's mountain pose. While in standing, feel free to just roll the shoulders back a few times and forward. Good. All right, let's go through our sun salutation. We'll just take our time going through each pose, breathing as we move, warming up the entire body. So standing near the top of the mat, arms down by your side with the palms facing forward. Nice long neck and look forward. Here we go. Inhale, extend the arms all the way up. Exhale, arms out to the side, bend your knees, sit back into that imaginary chair. Slowly fold, belly comes down towards thighs. Let the arms release down towards the ground. Fingertips might touch your toes. Inhale, slide your hands up to the shins or knees and extend the spine. Rise up halfway like we did earlier. This exhale, fold, just slide down the legs. Keep going, just bend your knees a bit more until you can reach the floor with your hands. Once hands are on the floor, just take several steps to the back end of your mat until you can draw a straight line, plank pose. And let's just see if we can get the hips to be about shoulder level. Still pressing firmly into the mat with the hands, nice strong arms, active upper body. Breathe in. On this exhale, we're going to take a shortcut to down dog. So we'll soften the knees a little bit, send your hips up into the air, let the chest sink. Make any adjustments with your feet and or your hands if you need to help settle into the pose. Let's add some warrior positions. Step left foot to center of mat to make sure you feel balanced here. Inhale, extend right leg up into the air behind you. Exhale, step right foot to the top of the mat, behind right hand, just at the wrist is good. Turn left heel to the floor. I have a lot of weight forward, so be sure to shift your weight back into this left foot so it feels well grounded. Good balance here. That way your hands feel light. You can easily lift them up off the floor because there's no weight in the hands. I like to rise up just a little bit to extend the spine. Then inhale, rise up, reach up into the sky, big stretch, and hold for a breath or two in Warrior One. Nice extension through the arms. Left leg slightly turned out, torso facing forward, which creates a nice stretch in this left hip flexor. Right knee bent, knee and toes pointing forward, strengthening the front leg. Inhale. Exhale, turn your torso towards the left side of the room. Bring your arms down to parallel. I like to turn this left leg out a bit, just so the hips feel quite open here. Arms parallel to the floor. Here's our Warrior Two. Let's just hold here for a moment. You can take your gaze out over your right hand. Let's take 2 more breaths. To come out of the pose, I like to call this a windmill. So the left arm comes up and around, face forward, flip the palms up so you can bring your hands down to the floor, rise up onto your tiptoes to align the hips, press firmly into the mat with the hands strong, arms slide, right foot back, plank pose. Hold for strength and length. Exhale, bend knees, hips to sky, downward facing dog. Again, our shortcut to down dog. Adjusting feet, adjusting hands. Hold for a moment so you can fully arrive in the pose. And we'll get set up for the other side. Step right foot to center on the mat for balance. Pick up left foot. Inhale, extend left leg straight back behind you with good energy. Exhale, step left foot to the top of the mat behind left hand. Right heel to the floor, again shifting weight away from the hands, but back into that back foot. So hands are light here. Rise to fingertips to help extend spine. And here we go. Inhale, rising to warrior one. Reaching straight up. Nice exhale to complete the lunge. Hold for a moment. Let's check in with our alignment. Left knee and toes pointing forward. Right leg is opening out. Nice hip flexor stretch. Take a breath in. Exhale, turning to your right as your arms come down to parallel for warrior two. Make any adjustments with the feet, mainly for balance. Let's hold here for about 3 breaths. And our big windmill to come out of the pose. Right arm up and around, facing forward. Flip the palms up. Fold. Bring your hands down to the mat. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you to align the hips. Slide left foot back. Here's plank pose. Hold. Here, softly, carefully bring knees to the floor. We'll sit back into hero pose. Just very briefly, just to get off the hands. And then sit off to the side. Swing the legs around to the front. All right, let's get ready for our featured pose. Now, we've already done some movements to get partially ready for Janu Sirsasana. Let's do one more, which is a little bit more of this leg extension. We're going to start in staff pose. So keeping legs straight, flex the feet to energize the legs, hands on the floor by your hips, pushing down into the floor to help extend spine. Roll shoulders back so the heart feels opened. Let's take a few breaths here. All right, getting fully prepared for our head to knee pose. We'll be using our strap as a tool to help us into this posture. One more breath. And then just soften slightly. All right, so this is how we'll get into the pose. We'll keep the right leg straight here. We're going to bend the left knee and bring the left foot to inner thigh. If you can reach here. If the foot doesn't quite reach here because there's sensitivity in the knee, that's fine. You can just slide that foot down a little bit, just so there's more comfort in the knee joint area. Now don't worry, this knee does not have to touch the ground. You can just place something underneath it. You can even use a block or a pillow. Pillow is nice, actually. I'm just going to use my block, and they're not very thick, which is perfect. So the knee can just kind of rest here. All right, so foot to inner leg, knee is bent, nice straight leg. We're going to use the strap, and that'll help us take our forward fold. Now the pose is called Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. So it implies that your head is going to come right down to the knee. Well, I can't do that, and many people aren't able to do that unless you're very, very flexible. So don't worry about that. What I like to experience in this posture is maintaining the spine very long and feeling like you're moving your heart out towards your toes. So sometimes I call this pose heart to toes pose. So I've got my strap wrapped around the right foot. I'm just going to wrap my strap around the hands, a little tug of the strap to help sit up nice and tall. Already feeling the nice hamstring stretch in the right leg, getting the hip opener in the left leg, nice straight spine. Inhale here. Get tall. Exhale, pull belly button in, but also a little tug on the strap, hinging forward. I'm sending my heart towards my toes. I'm now really feeling that hamstring stretch. I'm going to pause here for a moment. Okay, just like our cobbler's pose where we did that forward fold, very similar, starting with a long flat back. But then as we get into more of that back stretch, feel free to lower your chin, Let the back round, maybe a little bit more of a tug on the strap to take you a little bit deeper. Now, if this feels like it's too much of a stretch in the right leg, feel free to bend the knee. Okay, so you could put a bend in the knee. That might allow you to go a little bit deeper so you can get more into that nice back stretch. So I've called this class Stretch, Release, Open. Stretch, open, release. Stretching the leg, opening up through the hip, releasing the back. Janu Sirsasana. And because we are now rounding the spine, you might feel like now your head is perhaps getting a little bit closer to your knee. But still think of lengthening the spine, even though you're rounded in the back, continuing to send the heart out towards your toes. Let's just take 3 more breaths. Wonderful pose because we're targeting 3 areas with one posture. One of my favorite positions. When you're complete, if your back is rounded, let's start by lifting the chin to help re-extend spine. Even look out past the foot, look at the wall across from you, and then just hinge your way up until you're nice and tall. All right, we're done with this side. Let's just release that strap. Let's extend both legs here. Maybe returning to staff pose. We'll get set up for the other side. So we'll keep the left leg straight initially. Right knee bends, bring foot to inner thigh, or slide it down the leg if you have sensitivity in the right knee. I'm going to use my block on this side for a little resting spot for the knee as I'm in this nice hip opener. Still going to use the strap. Now, if you don't need the strap or you don't have one, you can always just fold and just hold on to your leg here. All right, got the strap. Here we go. Inhale, nice and tall, lengthen spine and lengthen leg. Exhale, a little tug of the strap, sending my heart towards toes. Until initially, there it is, I feel that nice back stretch, hamstring stretch, hip opening. I'm going to take a couple more breaths here. Even though my back isn't rounded, I do feel an energy in my back because I'm really maintaining the lengthened spine. All right, now you can start to lower the chin, round the back, even bend this left knee if you need to, and start to fold a little bit more. Take your time. Go very slowly, be gentle, and even pause. If you can go a little bit deeper, don't feel like you have to go all at once. Maybe come down a little bit, pause, breathe into the new sensations, soften into it, relax into the pose, and then maybe go a little bit deeper as you're able, but not needing to force the body. You want to be able to maintain these nice, slow, deep breaths, keeping the body calm as you move into a pose, particularly if you're going a little deeper into the pose. It feels very nice. A wonderful stretch for the hamstrings, opening up through the hips, and the release of the back. Let's take 3 more breaths. After your 3rd breath, if your back is rounded, we'll start to re-extend the spine by first lifting the head and chin. That will start to re-extend the spine, looking out past the foot, and then start to rise up until you're nice and tall. And we're done with this side, so I'm just going to release the strap, set it to the side, re-extend the legs initially, just to realign the hips, straighten the legs, come back to staff pose, hands on the floor by the hips, push down, lift up, roll shoulders back. We'll just take a couple breaths here. And since we just did these forward folds, let's finish with a minor back bend, just like we did at the beginning of the practice. So just soften, let's bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together. Hands behind you, propped up onto fingertips. Roll shoulders back. Inhale, feel the chest open and rise. Tip the chin up slightly. This will also open the hips a little bit more. Exhale. Draw belly button in, squeeze shoulder blades together. Just 2 more times like this. Wonderful. Alrighty. From here, it's going to move right into Shavasana. You can just lie flat on your back. I'm going to do an alternative. Just in the event that you have a yoga bolster or a big pillow or cushion, here's another way you can relax into your pose, just to maximize the back stretch and the hip opener. So I've got my long bolster behind me. I'm sitting right in front here, carefully lying down. And because I'm still seated on the mat and I'm lying on the bolster, it kind of creates this little back bend and just opens. And I'm going to bend the knees, feet together, but I'm going to keep my feet kind of far out towards the front edge of the mat. That way the legs can really open. My knees can actually touch the floor here. And just arms relaxing out to the side. Now, you don't have to do this variation. If just lying flat on your back in Shavasana is sufficient, just go there. You can even lie in Shavasana or just flat on your back with this leg posture if you want to. But wherever you are, perhaps close your eyes, go back to the deep breathing. Fill yourself up, listening to the sound of your breath. Experience the sensation of your breath, the rise and fall of your chest and belly, feeling as relaxed as possible, your whole body, even feel an ease in your mind. In your restorative pose, wherever you happen to be, feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Even as I end the practice, you're welcome to stay right where you are. And when you are ready to move, before moving the body right away, initiate deep breathing. Start to feel this new energy resonate through your entire body. And as you're breathing, start to feel the body move subtly. And after your 5 breaths, move in slow motion. Roll to one side of your body. And press yourself up to seated. Come to a very comfortable seat, perhaps with legs crossed in front of you. Nice and tall with an extended spine, relaxed shoulders, long neck. Gaze is forward if your eyes are open, or just keep your eyes closed. Take a breath here in stillness. And then one last movement together. Inhale, extend your arms out and up. Exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Take one more full and complete breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. And as we come to the close of this portion of our journey together, we bow saying, Namaste. Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.